Hi, it's Abby
and Jana
from Utah Do, and we are going to talk a little bit today about etiquette in class. So again, if you are new to dance, then this will give you an idea of what to expect, and if you've been in dance for a while, it'll just be a little bit of a refresher. The first thing we wanted to kind of talk about is just in general, kind of about respect in class. Adult classes can be a little bit more lenient and laid back. So if you were coming up through a little bit more strict program and you get back into an adult class, you might kind of feel like it's kind of laid back. But we were talking and we kind of feel like you have to be careful about not being too...
Yeah, like don't take it too far. Like it's okay to giggle in between a combination, you know, if it was really hard or you felt really silly doing it, you know, but you don't ever want to be talking when the teacher's giving instructions or showing a combination because it's distracting to other people in the classroom. And I know if that happens, I can't concentrate, and so...
And, you know, everybody else there, we're all, paying for the class, so you want to just remember that, everybody's trying to still, get something out of it, and it's still... Even though it's an adult class, you still do owe the teacher your respect and the other dancers your respect. The next thing we want to talk about, and this is primarily for people coming into a ballet class who are newer, is it can be a little bit convoluted figuring out just the spacing and distance in class, but you really want to be careful that you always have a nice bit of space around you. If you're at the bar, then you want to make sure that you have enough space to the person in front of you and behind you, that if you're doing kicks, you're not going to kick them. Or if someone is staggered across from you at the bar, you want to have 5 to 8 inches from your hand to their hand, because your hand is going to move, and the last thing somebody wants is to feel like they have to move their hand because you're about to pop them. And yeah, that can be really distracting.
Yeah, super distracting, and it's hard to stay on balance.
And when you're in the center, it can just... You don't want to be that person that's running into people. Especially if you're a newer dancer and you have more established dancers in class, you'll be able to tell that sometimes their nerves are kind of they don't have a lot of patience always for somebody getting into their space.
Class is so structured that you know, they've been doing it every day for so many years, and then you get in there and it goes a certain way, and so when that happens, it just kind of it takes you off your game. You're in your... It's so such a mental thing as well as physical, so I think when that happens, it can kind of it can throw you off.
And if you've been in just kind of aerobic classes like Zumba, sometimes you can be pretty close to people, but that's not how it is in a ballet class. You need a lot of space around you, so it's just something to keep in mind. Watch your spacing.
Not a space bubble, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's dirty dancing. My dance space and your dance space. Don't come into mine. We won't go into yours.
Just like that.
And then also, you know, again, just going back to the idea that adult classes can kind of be a little bit more lenient, but you still want to maintain some of the signs of respect that you did when you were younger. Things like clapping for your teacher at the end of class. Some teachers are probably going to be more strict or less strict about whether they kind of initiate that, but even if they don't, you should still initiate it. And I really encourage you to still, you know, go up to your teacher personally, say thank you. If you have a pianist, I always like to go thank them because, you know, they work really hard too. And it's just still, you know, just really nice gestures that then, you know, it makes the teacher want to keep working for you. It makes the school want to keep holding adult classes, and that's always good.
Yeah, definitely a plus. Okay, so talking about some specific procedures that always go on in class. In between combinations, you always want to turn toward the bar, not away from the bar.
Going from the right side to the left.
Yeah.
Again, you know, if you're staggered at a bar in the center, with other people, you want to make sure that you have at least 5 to 8 inches from your hand to their hand so that you have plenty of room to move around and have to shift your hand without risking ending up on top of somebody else.
And then when you're going across the floor for a combination in class, you definitely want to stay in a formation there. This is like another big spacing issue that can really get out of hand quickly. If you're in like a group of 3, say, you want to be in a triangular shape. So 2 in the front and 1 in the back. Usually if you do that, you can maintain that formation across the floor pretty easily. If you're in like a group of 4, staggering it like 2 in the front and 2 in the back, but make sure you're in the window of the person in front of you.
Yeah, it's kind of a square, but it's a staggered square.
Yeah.
And again, just making sure you maintain the formation all the way across. And if you start feeling yourself getting too close to somebody, then take the time to take a step back. You know, try not to make other dancers adjust to you. The same way when you're in a group in the center, you stagger your lines. So, you know, you will have people in the front and people in the back line, and the people in the back will be in the spaces. So if you're in the front line, you want to make sure that you have enough space between the person next to you that the people in the back can stagger. And you also want to make sure, as much as you can, as you're going through the combination, that you're not covering up the person in the back. Because again, some people get really irritated if all of a sudden they can't see themselves because you're covering them up. And if you're in the back line, like, don't get the idea in your head that you're gonna hide. Like, don't try and move yourself behind somebody. It's not helpful to you, and you really need to be looking at yourself in the mirror too. And sometimes, just because of like a confidence issue, people don't want to see themselves, but not only is that just not beneficial to you, but then it does mess up the formation for everybody else. And so, again, just to be respectful of everybody in class, you know, maintain those formations.
Yeah. Okay, so when you're finished with a combination in the center of the room, you don't just want to like walk back to the back of the room.
Or even straight side.
Yeah, straight sideways. A lot of times, like, if you're in, like, if there's more than one group doing the combination, the first group will go and then the second group will follow immediately. So you want to get out of their way so they can start their combination. So the rule is to always go forward and to the side.
If you're on the right side, you want to go right. If you're on the left side, you want to go left. But don't be that person that, like, just runs straight back and into everybody in the second group. Like, just don't be that person.
Yeah, it's embarrassing for you and everybody in the room.
It's not appreciated. It causes problems.
Yeah. So, forward and out. Gracefully.
Yes, always graceful.
Yeah.
And really that's actually like a good point too, is that, you know, as long as if you're really standing off to the side, then you can be relaxed, but at least in theory, like, even when you're walking off the floor, like, anytime you are remotely on the dance floor, you really should be trying to walk and carry yourself like a dancer.
Yeah.
So, you know, like don't start like a football player jog just because you finished a combination. Still try and maintain that sense of grace at all times.
Yeah. Okay guys, well that kind of sums up our conversation about ballet class etiquette. If you have any questions, please find us on Facebook, facebook.com/UTonDo. Leave us a little post on our wall. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Yay, likes! And you can leave it a comment below. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next week.
All right, bye.
Bye.
See.
Awesome. Give us likes and likes and likes and likes and comments.
We should actually like put that in.
I know.